Let's see what
Interesting.
else. Yeah. Let's see what else. What else can we go over? Okay, so Tronscan. You're familiar with the Tronscan, right?
Okay, yeah. So that's the next thing. So I have, I'm on Tronscan. I have my wallet. I have my TronLink wallet, but I don't know about the. I'm still trying to learn everything with it as far as the voting and the energy and the bandwidth and all the power and all that stuff. Like, so I think the voting, because you can earn Tron by voting, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So if you have what's called.
Show me how to set that up.
All right.
I want to set that
So
up today.
all right. So here's an example. So um the first thing you need to do is get your wallet, and I have a video on that part, so we'll just skip that part because it's a
Hmm.
little bit lengthy. But um you get your Tron wallet, then you go to Chrome, and then you download your Chrome extension. And like I said, I have an exact video for that, so I'll show that to you. And then for anybody else that's on the video, maybe I'll put it up in the I'm pointing up, so maybe I'll put it up ahead, somewhere in the video. But so the main thing about the Tron energy and Tron bandwidth, the way it works is like the bandwidth is like your allocation to interact with the network. So everybody gets 5,000 bandwidth from the beginning. And then the more bandwidth you have, that means the more transactions you can do. Like, well, the more transactions you're able to do without it pulling from your actual Tron balance. So, like, for example, you see right here, I have it says I have 1,608 TRX. If I'm sending tokens, whether it's Tron or any other coins right here, then that's gonna consume bandwidth, right? So if my bandwidth hits zero, then it's gonna pull from my TRX to cover the cost. So really, it's almost like Tron gives you free gas to interact with the blockchain, so you don't have to
Hmm.
pay for it, and your bandwidth regenerates every 24 hours. So, like, for example, I have 15,000 bandwidth. That is probably my total allocation. Usually, I think they're gonna update it and put like what's your total, but your Tron link will show you, like how much you have or whatever. But anyway, so the main thing about it is you have your total bandwidth, and as you use the network, then this will go down. The same thing with energy. So energy is more so dealing with DApps. They have another side chain which is called the Sun network, which will save on energy. But for right now, we'll just focus on the mainnet Tron network. And so anytime you interact with the DApp, then it requires energy for you to play with that DApp. And it does consume a little bit of bandwidth, but more so energy. So the more energy that you have, the more DApp transactions that you can interact with. And again, if you run out of energy, it's okay because it'll recharge. But if you do run out of energy, it will start to take away from your main balance. So that's how it works, if that makes sense. Now, the way you get energy or get Tron is you go down here and you actually freeze your Tron. Now, when it says freeze your Tron, you freeze it, and it takes 3 days for it to freeze, or they lock it up for 3 days. But after the 3 day period, then you can go ahead and unfreeze it anytime you want to. So, like right here, you see I have some Tron that's frozen. I can unfreeze this Tron now, since when I froze it, it was like more than 3 days ago. And so therefore, you're not losing any of your Tron. You're just freezing it and adding it to secure the network, which is called proof of stake or whatever.
Hmm.
So for example, if I go in here and I hit freeze, then I can put the TRX amount, how much I want to freeze, what do I want to allocate it to, bandwidth or energy, and then I freeze. The other cool thing is you actually have this recipient address too, where I could actually, freeze energy on your behalf. For example, let's say you're getting started, you're like, hey man, I want to play with some dApps, but I don't have enough energy. And if I'm a huge bag holder or whatever, or even if I just have some extra Tron laying around, I can actually go and freeze some Tron on your behalf and I can choose if if you want bandwidth or energy. And so obviously it'll
Mm-hmm.
be energy so that way you can play with dApps. And these are the kind of cool things that you can do with Tron that um now, of course, we can't say you can't do it with Ethereum to be fair, because it's not out yet. But Ethereum right now is proof of work. It's not proof of stake currently, and that's what they're trying to upgrade to. So until that happens, right now, Tron is giving you the best tools and the best utilization. All right, so I'm gonna pause right there and just see if you have any questions. If not, I'm gonna go into the Tron power and the voting part.
No, I mean all of that was pretty straightforward.
All right,
I
cool.
definitely want to know about the voting.
All right, cool. So the way it works is, so now you can see right here. So for example, it says I have 6,308 Tron power. So all it's really doing is taking the Tron that you put in, and you see right
Mm-hmm.
here, I did 6,008 Tron for bandwidth, and I did 300 Tron for energy, which then equals 6,308. So what they do is they convert your Tron that you froze into Tron power, and it's just a conversion. It's not anything that you lose. They just convert it for you. So now you have
Mm-hmm.
Tron Power, and then what you do is you go up here to committee, you click on votes, and then you find yourself a super representative that's paying out whatever percentage of rewards that you want, right? So for example, Sky people, they're paying 100%. And of course, if you want to learn more about Sky people, what their initiative is, then that's fine. But to give you an overview of what a super representative is, it's almost like, I don't want to say a miner, but it's like a miner that provides the security and the transactions for the network. And for every block that gets recorded onto the blockchain, they get a reward. Now they can turn around, which that reward is TRX every block, just like Bitcoin. Every time a miner
Mm-hmm.
solves a block in Bitcoin, then they receive some Bitcoin. It's the same thing, but it's not mining, it's proof of stake. So every time a super representative is running their computer hardware to facilitate the network. Again, they're not mining; they're just running their computer to facilitate the transactions and the blocks. They
Mm-hmm.
get rewarded in TRX. Now, what they can do is they can decide to turn around and say, "I'm going to give 100% of my rewards back to the community for who votes for me," and that's how it works. So you can see right here we have well over 200 well over 200 super representatives. Now only the top 27 super representatives actually are getting the reward. So we have over 200 people that are securing and providing transactions for the network, but only the top 27 are actually getting the rewards, which is a really cool thing, which kind of generates like you could say like a competition or whatever the case may be, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works. Um, and then, like I said, on each one you can click on them and go into what they do. But anyway, so the way you actually vote is you hit right here where it says click here to start voting. And then, oh, and that's, see right here, I didn't even know. I see that would be a wasted amount of Tron or Tron power that I didn't even vote, right? So I need to go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and allocate this to full voting. So now you see 6,308. So this will be a good
Mm-hmm.
example. So I'm going to go ahead, and the reason why I chose Sky People is because they're paying out 100% and Tron rewards to anybody that votes to them. And then I'm gonna break down like how you get how what that can turn into. So for
Okay.
example, so for example, let me go ahead and submit. So I hit submit. My Tron link is going to ask me to confirm. I'm going to hit accept, and then boom, that fast. It's settled that fast, and it's done. So now my Tron is voted, and I can go back here, and now you can see that I have my full Tron power is voted. So what is the importance of doing this, right? So what is the big deal? The big deal is this, right? You can actually go here. There's a website called Token Goodies, and it looks like they updated the website. So let me just play around with it for a
Mm-hmm.
second. Let's see here. So this website here can give you an example. Let's say you had, let's just say you had 100,000 Tron, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
already on here. So 100,000 Tron, and let's go back to the Tron price, just so just so you can see how powerful this thing could be in the future. So right now Tron is at like let's just say 2 pennies. It's at point
If
zero
you
one nine.
go back up to the top,
Where is it? Right
go all the
here.
way up to the top, and then go to tools at the top in the middle,
Oh, go to tools. Okay.
and then the converter right there.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Then you can go and then actually put in 1,000 Tron and how much it would be,
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Got you. All right.
or 100,000 or whatever.
Got you. Let me do that real quick. Let's see. TRX. So, all right. So we'll do 100,000. Okay, so let's say you had 100,000 worth of Tron, which is appreciate that, bro. So you got 100,000 Tron, and so that'll be about almost 2,000
About
USD.
2,000.
Yeah, so that'd be about 2,000. So 2,000 USD worth of Tron,
Two
right?
stacks.
Yeah, two stacks. All right, so you take two stacks and you convert it into Tron. So if you look at the
It's not
rewards
a bad
here.
idea. It's not bad.
so what
It
you
might
so
be.
what so what you look at here is you have so for example it's going to show you like different rewards, and so you can keep looking. So here you go, here's Sky People, right? So Sky People, um and so the way it works is every 6 hours they make a payout in Tron. So every cycle, the last cycle, based on 100,000, if you had 100,000 Tron, you would get
Hmm.
5.28 TRX every 6 hours, right? So that comes
Wow.
out to 21 Tron per day, 21.4 point 14 Tron per day. So if you do some math on that, let's say you had let's do 21.14 times 30 days, because you're getting that per day. So that's 634 Tron per day, right? So if we go back to what you showed me, so 634 Tron. Let me make sure that's what it
Mhm.
was. Yeah, 634 Tron. So the current price, that would be I typed it wrong. 634. So the current price that would be $12. So obviously that's not like gonna make anybody like super whatever. And again, this is not financial advice, but that's just what it is. But let's say in theory that in the future, let's just say one Tron equals $1, right?
Mhm.
So if Tron equals $1 in the future, any point in the future, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, or never. You're right. So who knows? But what if it hits $1? That would be $634 per month. Just
Right.
just by staking, or just by holding
So you
your
can
TRX.
so basically in theory you could take $2,000 and then potentially, well, maybe even within, let's say even if it takes a year, you take $2,000 and then that $2,000 is generating over $600 a month for you.
Right, right. And that's as long as the Tron network is running, as long as the Tron network has value, and if anybody that owns Tron, they're still going to have value attached to it. So, and it's decentralized. So, the
But you
chances of
so
it.
but so could you compound that? Like if you once you earn the Tron, you could go back and then vote,
Oh
revote.
yeah, most
But
definitely.
is there
Yeah,
a
most
max? Is there
definitely.
a max on how much you can vote, or you can basically vote all the power that you have?
No, you can keep voting. So let me show you here, right? So you see right here where it says voting reward. This is how much
Hmm.
Tron I've earned. Yeah, and I don't know how long it's been running. I just let it run. I don't even think about it, right? So
Hmm.
this is 35 Tron that I've gotten, right? So let's just say if I wanted to pull this 35 Tron out, all I have to do right here is click this red button. It says collect reward. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and do that, just so you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna
So
hit.
can you pull it out and then revote it?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you
All
you
right, let's
pull
see
it
it. Let's
out.
see it.
Yeah, you
Let's
pull
see
it
it.
out. So you hit collect reward, and I'm gonna hit accept. Let's look at. So right now we got 1,608. So we should
All
definitely
right.
have more than that. So whenever it settles, so we're
Let's
gonna
see.
hit accept.
Let's see.
Yep, we pulled it
Boom.
out, and this is live, right? So we gotta wait. So we gotta wait because it's gotta pull it out first. So let's just wait and give it a few moments. Now this one takes a little bit longer than the actual transaction because you're dealing with more factors. Like you're pulling your Tron out of the reward system. So it's all depends on the Sky people setup. You know how they got it set up. But usually it doesn't take that long to settle. So we're just gonna give it a moment and so let me check it now. Usually, what I do in this GUI is now it's probably settled on the Tron link, but I want to show it how it settles on Tronscan. So let's go to. Usually, what I do is I hit send, and we'll see if it's gone
Mhm.
yet. All right, so we'll see if it's gone. I may have to do a refresh. Let's see. All right, so you see it's gone. So it is gone. So now we just need to wait for this part to update. So it's gone from here. So that's good. So we're just
Mhm.
waiting. And let me hit send again. And boom, there it is. It just dropped. See right there? Boom. It
Yeah.
just dropped. There you go. So that was what? Maybe 20, 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, maybe a minute.
Mhm.
I don't know. But that was fast. And that's not a regular transaction like me just sending you some Tron. It's a whole different like thing. So it does take a little bit longer than a normal transaction. But compared to Ethereum, it was still way faster.
Mhm.
That's like you pulling out your Ethereum in a DApp. Again, not to bash on Ethereum, but let's just keep it real. All right, so you just saw me pull out 35 TRX. So, like you said, you say, well, how can I compound it? That's easy. You just go down here, you put in 35 because we're not gonna count what I already had. We're just gonna say, hey, I wanted to
Mhm.
compound what just came out. So I'm gonna restake
Mhm.
it to back into energy, hit accept. So 35 TRX. I want to put it
Mhm.
in energy, and then I want to confirm. And it tells you right here how
So you have to
much.
do energy to vote. If you want to vote, it has to go into energy.
Uh, no. So if you want to vote, it can go into bandwidth or energy, either one.
Okay.
Yeah, bandwidth or energy. It just decides like, do you want more bandwidth to send and receive tokens, or do you want more energy so you can play with DApps? So most people right now is playing with DApps. So that's why I default to energy. Because anybody's going to be playing with DApps. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit freeze, 35, energy, hit accept, boom, done. All right, so the total was 6,300 and 308. So that should be up to what 6,003 what 40 or something like that.
Mhm.
Once it comes in, all right. So we're gonna again wait, give it some time to settle, because what it has to do, it has to register that Tron is now frozen, and this should go up to 335 right here for energy. So we're gonna refresh and let's just see if it updated. All right. So let's give it maybe it needs a little bit more time, which is
Shit
fine.
slow though.
Which is fine. Yeah, it's the mechanism on this part. It does take a little bit longer on the Tronscan part for it to update. All right, let me update it. Let me refresh again. Okay, there it is. So not that bad. Not that bad. Okay, so there we go. 335. So it's there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it usually takes about to be fair, I'll say about a minute on Tronscan. Anytime you're freezing and stuff like that or pulling out rewards, I've noticed that. But again, a minute is like nothing. I mean, compared to Ethereum or Bitcoin, like to be honest. Okay, so now you see I have 343 instead of 308. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to votes, and it should be there, and it should say 35 Tron. Boom, and it's right there. See? So now we're going to
Mhm.
hit the plus button and add that to our other voting. And boom, and you can change your votes. Oh yeah, that's the other important thing. I'm surprised you didn't ask me this question. You can change your votes at any time you want to, as many times as you want to throughout the day. So like if I
Really.
said, yeah, like if I said, man, I don't like what Sky People's doing, I can be like, or I can just type it in and go like that. You see right here, it moves your votes up here, and then I can reallocate, and I can allocate to other people
Mm,
too. I can vote. So if you want to diversify and you say, well, I don't want to keep up with what everybody is doing. I want to diversify, but you also want to make sure that they're paying out rewards, because you see right here, these four right here are paying zero rewards. So I don't want to, unless you just like them, I don't want to vote for them because they're not paying me any rewards. And that's usually
mhm,
how it goes. So because you want to get something out of it, it's just the way the world works. You want to get something. So so you can change, you can allocate who you want to vote for. But the reason why I do all Sky Peoples because they're doing 100% as of right now. So it's just a good
mhm.
indicator, to check out for, to look out for. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And then over 6 hours from now, I will be getting another voting reward. So it's probably,
Mhm.
so we can go here and just see how much that is. So right now I got about, let's just say 7,000 Tron. So 7,000 Tron. So, and it's not going to be a lot because we only have relatively small amount. Because you have to remember
Mhm.
the amount of the amount of that Tron. Let's see, 7,000 Tron is like $139, right now.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to end up getting every day is about a Tron, almost 2 Tron per day. See right here.
Mhm.
So that amount of Tron, with the current price of Tron right now, but remember Tron is inflationary, or I mean deflationary, excuse me. So the price can go up, or down, and it's volatile. So right now, that's about 2 Tron per day. So yeah, you can do the math on that. So the main goal is if somebody could hold Tron until it either hits $1 or $5, you would be pretty well off. I'll just put it that way. Potentially, you'd be pretty well off. Passive residual income. So,
Okay.
any other questions?
So now here's the green question.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. What you got?
All right. So in your opinion, if you have Tron, where's the best place to hold it in order for it to compound and generate residual income? In your opinion.
Okay, in my opinion, now before I answer that question, I will say a disclaimer. It depends on what's your risk level. Like if you're a, I mean, obviously if you're already in Tron, you're pretty, like you like
If
taking
you're in
risks.
cryptocurrency, you're already in a risk in
Right.
a
You like
risky.
taking risks, right? To be fair, but if you want to go beyond Tronscan and voting, then I would say the next best place beyond what I just showed you would be in DApps.